Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another MLR breakdown video. But before we even get started, man, have you not subscribed yet? Like, I don't know what else to tell you, man. The notification icon is right down there. I can show 1,000 memes, man. But if you want to support real rugby content and commentary from real rugby fans, no BS, man. Like, that's what we are. I don't do this for a job. We just enjoy talking about the game of rugby. Whether it's Kiwis, you got Ella, you got Sed, you got my South African brothers with Casual, Brett, every of those guys. You got England, you got Ireland, you got it all, man. And then you got the lovable old Keith here in North America. So hit that subscribe icon, man. I don't know what else to tell you. So round 8. Officially in the books, we've reached the halfway point of the Major League Rugby season. 16 rounds, we've made it 8. Some interesting standings to go through, but before we even get into any of that, we need to do a recap of this week's games and kind of see what happened. Look at the standings, look at the future, and then we'll do a little bit of a mid-season breakdown, if you will allow me. So let's get going, guys. So round 1 on the weekend, we've got DC at 2-3-2 heading out to meet up with the Utah Warriors in Utah, Zions Bank Stadium, the 3-4 Utah Warriors. And this one turned out to be pretty darn entertaining, if you will. Let's go ahead and get it started out. Dylan Nell, the try at the 8th minute for Utah. Hodgson does convert it to 7-0 9 minutes into this one. He gets another try. Dylan Nell, once again, 13th minute. Hodgson does convert. It's 14-0. We're 14 minutes into this one. I like those kind of games sometimes. Mika Cruze, the USA Eagle, crosses at the 24th minute. Hodgson converts. It's 21-0, 25 minutes into this. And it's looking like it's going to be a blowout for the Warriors on DC. But Jack Ascaro does get a try at the 30th minute for DC. And, yeah, we go into the half at 21-5 by way of Utah.
Selmy running things. Hodgson now bursts through. Trying to find someone to offload to. Here's Makini. Sushan over to Hodgson with numbers. Steps through. Over to Mika Cruze, who spins around. And he will dot it down for the Warriors' 3rd try of the night.
The Mika Cruze try there at the break. As we get into the second half, Kieran McClay for Utah gets a try at the 53rd minute. Hodgson, once again, money converts. Jason Robertson does answer back at the 61st minute and does also convert his try that he gets. And then at the 70th minute, after a scrum is awarded to Utah, they end up giving a penalty try to Old Glory. It's a bit of an infraction off the scrum deep in the Utah end, and they award the penalty try, but it's not enough. Joel Hodgson once again at the 76th minute kicks the penalty, gets the 3 points, and 31-24 by way of Utah. Man of the match going, of course, with the Golden Boot. Joel Hodgson getting man of the match honors. Utah moves to 4-4. DC goes to 2-4-2. Utah will welcome Pote Human, Heineke Meyer, and the Houston SaberCats next weekend to Utah. And next week, Old Glory looks to get back in the win column against Miami. Next up, we had the 2-5 Miami Sharks matching up against the 3-4 Dallas Jackals in Miami. Fort Lauderdale, the site of the game. And this one got ugly real fast. Argentine and captain of the game, Geronimo Gomez-Vara, playing lock. Typically played flanker all last season. He was a flanker. He moved into lock with Lucas Burr, his partner there. A rare night off for Sam Gola, the All-American. He does get the try at the 7th minute. Tincho Elias, Martin on paper, but he goes by Tincho Elias. He does kick the conversion. 8 minutes into it, 7-0. 15 minutes elapse. Makin Ali Khan, the loan from Harlequins or Saracens, one or the other. The Canadian international does get a try at the 23rd minute. Elias does convert. And then, not even 6 minutes later, we get this.
Elias goes to ground. Oh, great attack from Orcada. He can't be stopped. Is he going to be stopped? Quick ball. And it's a fullback. And it's a fullback. Has he scored? He scored. Connor Winchester scores the third try.
Connor Winchester with the try at the 31st minute, and Elias does convert, making it 21-0 at the 32nd minute. And this is what we go into the sheds with. The Dallas Jackals up 21-0. We come out for the second half, and we get an absolute beauty from Jason Tidwell.
By a shot, but they lose the ball, and it's 2-4. That is going to create the fourth bonus point try. And as he touched down, he has, and that's the fourth try. Jason Tidwell scores for the Sharks. What a break for the Jackals. What a great start for the visiting side. They get the bonus point, they strengthen the lead, and they continue to take control of this game.
Yes, Jason Tidwell, the local product, the All-American kid, goes across at the 42nd minute. Elias does miss the conversion, but it is, at this point, 26-0 by way of Dallas. This is already a blowout at this point. Michael Henn does finally get across the try line at the 48th minute for Miami. Santiago Vedela does convert, the Chilean international. Couple of minutes later, 5 minutes later, another Argentine, another score. Tommy Milanos this time crosses over at the 54th minute, and Tincho Elias does convert once again. And then at the 70th minute, Giuseppe Dutoy for Miami does cross to not make it totally a wash night for them. They do end up that ends up being the final score for them. And then Damon Torres, the first-round pick out of Central Washington, does cross over for the Dallas Jackals at the 73rd minute. And we get a final score of 38-17. Dallas moves to 4-4. Miami falls to 2-6. Miami will be at D.C. next week, and Dallas will be at the San Diego Legion. Now, I just wanted to go in for a moment and bring up Jason Tidwell once again. For all of you that follow along, I know you hear a lot of foreign-born players here. It's a lot of foreign-born guys. Jason Tidwell is not only an American-born and raised player, he is from right here in North Texas, a graduate of Saginaw Boswell High School just north of Fort Worth, a graduate of Texas A&M University down in Central Texas, and his mother and father, I will post up a photo of mom and son. I don't have to post up a pic of dad, and I will tell you why, because I have gotten confused by both of them. They look exactly like his father looks exactly like him. Just a little bit older, but there's no doubt Jason Tidwell and Jason Tidwell are father and son because they look exactly alike. But the mother, she has done so much to promote not only her son, but the sport here locally. I was obviously, anybody that knows my past, I was involved in the fan club here with the local side, and I felt like the team wasn't doing enough, and the mom was going out and getting radio interviews with her son, promoting not only her son, but the team and the game itself of rugby, and it was so good to see him get that try, and not only that, getting the man of the match. So congratulations, Jason Tidwell, Mariah, the Tidwell family. You guys rule, and keep doing what you're doing to help the sport grow in the U.S. Next up, we still have a winless Carolina looking for that very first victory in team history. They welcomed in the NOLA Gold on Saturday, and man, this one got ugly real fast, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it did start off at a bright point as David Still did get a try at the 5th minute for Carolina, but unfortunately, that was all they had in the tank as Asiko Iwani got a try at the 20th minute. Darian Jones did convert, making it 7-5 at the 21st minute. Darian Jones gets a try of his own at the 23rd minute and converts, making it 14-5 at the 24th minute. He gets his second try of the day at the 35th minute and does convert once again on his own try, making it 21-5. It just got ugly after that. And then Julian Roberts added one right before they went into the sheds at the 39th minute. They go into halftime 26-5. NOLA all over Carolina. We come back out for the second half at the 47th minute. Man of the match, getting T. Rongarita Filimoni getting the try like this.
They've been phenomenal. Getting their hands on the ball all the time as they now move it to the width.
Life able to find Depperschmidt over the top. He has Filimoni, a race to the try line, and Taniela will dot it down. Another try, and Taniela with his...
And Darian Jones does convert once again. Filimoni gets his second try at the 72nd minute. Jones once again converts, and the final score of 40-5 by way of NOLA with the bonus point, everything. And unfortunately, Anthem fall to 0-8 on the midway point of the year, and the NOLA Gold moved to 4-4. NOLA has the bye next week. Anthem will have their hands full at Seattle. And when you call something the match of the week, you expect it to be a match of the week as the Legion of San Diego headed to the Space City, Houston SaberCats Stadium. Absolutely beautiful. Where I got engaged, as if I haven't mentioned that 1,000 times before, as the 5-2 San Diego Legion headed to Houston to take on the 6-1 Pote Human Heineke Meyer-led SaberCats. And this one was a wash, ladies and gentlemen. 12th minute, Ronan Murphy does get the try, and Davey Kutza, the former Bull, gets the conversion at the 13th minute. 7-0, 13 minutes into this one. 12 minutes elapses. Lene Latu does get a try. Davey Kutzer does convert. We go into halftime at 14-0. This was kind of a boring one, guys. 61st minute, Ronan Murphy gets his second try of the day. Kutzer does convert once again, making it 21-0 at the 62nd minute, excuse me. And then we get a penalty try after interference that looked like...
With these SaberCats, calling SaberCats Stadium home.
Stop, play on.
So against his former side, gets in a lick, but that's about it. Tossi. And a knock on from Kutzer. Did they get an intervention perhaps here against San Diego?
And Houston puts the dagger in at the 72nd minute as Samu Smith gets the try. 33-0. I believe this was San Diego's worst loss in history. Man of the match going to Ronan Murphy for obvious reasons. But man, this was supposed to be a knockdown, drag out. This was supposed to be Houston versus New England, Houston versus Seattle, and San Diego just did not show up for this one. Houston will be we'll have next week with Utah, and next week San Diego will welcome the Dallas Jackals to Starfire Stadium. Excuse me, Snapdragon Stadium. Starfire is where Seattle plays. And last but certainly not least, we had New England at Los Angeles. I'm going to go ahead and call out Chad. 28 point is what he gave them. And he hit it right on the money. But LA welcoming at 1-5-1, the 6-1, or the 5-2 New England Free Jacks, the East leading New England Free Jacks. And this one, once again, got ugly pretty early as Andrew Quattern gets a try at the 13th minute. Jason Petrales, the Taranaki-born Jason Petrales, does convert, and it is 7-0, 14 minutes into this one. 5 minutes later, Cita Baker gets a try. Petrales, once again, converts 14-0 at the 20th minute. No, actually, Petrales did not convert, so no, it's 19-0 at the 20th minute. And then Morgan Putarangi gets a try at the 30th minute. Once again, Petrales does not convert. And it's looking ugly real fast in this one. Jack Shaw does answer back for LA at the 38th minute and does convert on his own try. And we go into the sheds at 17-7 with New England all over LA. Getting started in the second half, we get a beautiful try by Reese McDonald.
Going through the hands. Here comes Shaw, the try scorer. Shaw putting boot to ball right to the Free Jacks and happy to retake possession.
We'll come back for it, Pete.
This one trickling over the line and there to the back of the in-goal area. McDonald, we talk about his speed. Take another look. He kicks it. Everyone else gives up on it. And look at the speed coming out of nowhere for McDonald.
But what about the weighting of the kick? It perfectly holds up and doesn't go over the dead ball line and the chase. I mean...
That was a good one. I don't care what you say. That was a good one. Petros does convert on that as well. LA does fire back with Fijian international Semi Konatani getting a try at the 51st minute. Unfortunately, Shaw does miss the conversion. Petros gets the penalty goal at the 72nd minute, and then Morgan Putorangi gets another try at the 76th minute, and Petros does convert. Man of the match going to the Teranaki-born Jason Petros, who is also reigning MVP of Major League Rugby. Next week, New England will welcome Chicago, and LA goes on the bye week. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standings through 8 rounds of Major League Rugby. In the West, a tight race at top. We've got Houston SaberCats at 7-1, a single point over the 7-1 Seattle Seawolves, followed by the San Diego Legion, and in 4th place, the 4-4 Dallas Jackals, with also the 4-4, a single point behind them, Utah Warriors, and then rounding it out at 1-6-1 is RFC Los Angeles. Take a look over at the East. Not nearly as tight in the East, but you've got the 6-2 New England Free Jacks leading with 29 points, followed by the 4-3-1 Chicago Hounds. Adrian Carolsa led Chicago Hounds with 23 points, followed by the 4-4 NOLA Gold with 21 points, and then the 2-4-2 Old Glory DC, followed by the 2-6 Miami Sharks, and rounded out by the 0-8 Anthem of Carolina. Now, I know a lot of folks are kind of like, yeah, it's obvious the West is a much tougher conference this year, and it seems to kind of go back and forth in this league. So stick around long enough, and you'll see a time where the East is just as tough. And as I'm always bringing up my buddy Chad in Los Angeles, his favorite part of my predictions for the week, we've got, starting it off, late by Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. start for Friday night for the Seattle Seawolves welcoming in the still winless Anthem of Carolina. Give me Seattle, and I would say by at least 30. It's just looking that bad at this point. You've got the Miami Sharks at DC. Give me DC by 10 or so. We've got the Houston SaberCats at Utah. I think this is going to be a lot closer than some people think, but give me the Houston SaberCats just by a bit. Chicago at New England. New England tough at home. New England tough, period. But this is number 1 and number 2 in the Eastern Conference. But I'm going to have to give the edge to Jason Petros in New England. Adrian Carolsa, absolutely great for Chicago. But I think just a bit too much. And I think the Free Jacks get a win by at least 10. And the last game on the weekend as Dallas heads to San Diego on Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time start here. And my upset pick of the week, I'm going to pick the Dallas Jackals over San Diego by 6. Hold me to it, folks. If I'm bad, rip me apart in the comments. But I'm going to give the Jackals the edge. They're going to go to 5-4. I think they've got something special, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. So at the midway point of Major League Rugby season, I'd like to bring up a couple of interesting stats and kind of a bit of history, some things that have shocked me and some things that I expect going forward. Now, the best offense in the entire league, believe it or not, is the Dallas Jackals with 264 points. Now, you might be saying, what does this mean? This is a team that's had one of the most anemic offenses in the first 2 years of their existence. They have struggled. The first year especially, they struggled to score a lot. Having the best offense in the league. Now, doesn't, it does help that they've played some of the lower end teams, but still, to have such a powerful offense after being in the basement the last 2 years is an amazing thing. The worst offense in the league, unsurprisingly, is Carolina with only 163 points scored. The best defense in the league, not really a big surprise. They lead the East, and they are the defending MLR champions. So those would be the New England Free Jacks, and they've only allowed 165 points. The worst defense in the league, once again, no surprise there, as Carolina has allowed a jaw-dropping 387 points through 8 games. Yes, folks. Yeah. The biggest shockers for me on the year this so far have been, the struggles of San Diego. This is Ma'anonu. Matt Gateau is supposed to show up at some point. Isaac Ross. Marcel Brackey. They have big names in San Diego. I expected now it is a three-way battle, but I expected them to be a little bit more tougher. That was just me. That has been the big shocker for me. Another big shocker for me, once again, the best offense in the league, is the Dallas Jackals off the mauls and the lineouts have been absolutely deadly. You know me, you see the hat I'm wearing. I love good set-piece play, and the Dallas Jackals have mastered the set-piece play. I think I give a lot of it to their head coach. He was formerly the forwards coach for the Italy U20s team, and it's just paying dividends, you can tell. So those are the two big shocks, San Diego struggling, and Dallas actually being really good offensively. Those have been like the two real big shocks for me. The leading scorers through 8 weeks, and by a lot, by almost 20, Mac Mason of Seattle has 97 points. He is followed by reigning MVP and Taranaki product, Jason Petrose, who has 78 points, and Chilean Felipe Echeverri, he plays for Miami, with 68 points. As far as try scorers go, at the top, man, South African-born, Canadian international, my brother, from another mother, Dewey Kutsia with 9 tries. Doesn't hurt when you have 5 in a single game. But Dewey Kutsia with 9, and then you have Reese McDonald and Tirangarita, Reese McDonald of New England, and Tirangarita Philemoni of New Orleans with 7 apiece. Now, if you guys want to follow along, just Google how to watch Major League Rugby. Absolutely free. You put in an email address and you can follow along on demand, unless the game's being shown on TV, and there's usually like a 24-hour delay for it to be put on the site. But it is absolutely free to follow along and to watch the newest rugby competition in the world really, really still try to get its feet wet. And I say the newest, I mean, the URC is technically newer, but the teams aren't. But the newest rugby in America, and it's absolutely free to watch along and enjoy it. It's fun to watch. You get to see, like I said, rugby in America. But that's all I've got for this one, so stay tuned. Hopefully I will see you guys again next week, and until then, maybe you'll see me pitch side. Cheers, guys.